And welcome techies, I am Sambhav here. This is the third part of order by and the fifth video. In case you have not watched my previous videos on SQL, please go ahead and check them out. I will attach the link in the description for you. So in today's session, we are going to talk about order by using an alias name, how to perform order by using a sorting expression, how to order by using column number. We will also have some practical sessions and then I will give you some assignment questions for you to practice. In the previous video, we have already discussed about the syntax of order by, how to sort the table based on numeric columns and based on character columns, and we have also seen in detail study about how the sorting are performed and how does the SQL behave, sorting based on numeric and character columns and different scenarios. In case you have any questions, please feel free to post your question in the comment section. So let's get started with today's session. So the first topic which we are going to discuss in this session is using order by with an alias name. First of all, what is an alias name? Alias name is nothing but a temporary name which can be given to a table or a column. It's not a permanent name. Temporarily, a name is given to a particular column, or it can also be given to particular table. Now, why alias name is required? There are several reasons to use alias name. Sometimes when you work in production environment, the column names are not that easy to understand from the business perspective. So whenever you need to display your data to the business people, you have to give an easy name for them to understand. Secondly, there are some kind of functionalities which can be applied on different columns, and those columns can be given a new name based on based on your requirement. That is why aliasing names really is really very important. Now, the lifetime of the alias name or the temporary name which you have given to the table or to the column, it only exists only for that particular query, right? Make You must understand that the alias name does not change the actual column name of the table, right? In general, it can be created by using as keyword, but it is not necessarily that you have to use as keyword. I will try to explain this with few examples. Let's try to do this two questions over here. All right, so let me bring my questions here, and so that we can solve them. So there are two questions. Let me comment them out. The first question says, arrange the data in the alphabetical order of the first name of the customer from the customer table using an alias name. So let me bring it out. Select star from customer, right? Now if I execute this, I will be able to look into my data. So this is my data. So the data contains, my table contains customer ID, store ID, first name, last name, email, and so on and so forth. Now the question says, please sort the data based on the first name, alphabetical order, in the ascending order. So let's do it. Select, let me pick up some column. Let's say select, and let's have customer ID, comma, first name, last name, and let's say address ID, and let's say email as well, email, right? From which table? Customer table, customer. And then finally we'll have to use order by, and we will give the column name. So I can say first underscore name. Now in this example, I'm trying to show you how to order by based on the actual column name. So if you look at my query, I am trying to select few columns, and then I am going to sort the data based on my first name, which is the actual column name. Now let me first execute this and show you the result. Okay, there's a spelling mistake, F-I-R-S-T, my bad, sorry. So let me execute this particular query. So you see the data has been sorted in the ascending order, right? It starts from A and slowly it'll go to B, C, and so on and so forth. But the question says that I must be using an alias name, right? So the question says I must be using an alias name. So let's say first name, I'm using an alias name as F name, assume. So what am I doing? Now here the first name will be referred as F name. Now let me execute this piece of query. And now you would notice that even by using F name, we will be able to sort the data, which is nothing but alias name. So this is called sorting the data based on alias name. So you remember that whenever we are performing order by or sorting the data in ascending or descending order, in SQL, you can always use alias name. The second question is find the details of the top 10 customers based on their payment from the payment table. Let us pick a few. Let us pick up our payment table. Select star from payment. Let me execute this query so that we can get the data here. So the payment table contains these columns. Now we are asked to sort the data uh, details of top 10 customer based on their payment. So here we will have to sort the data based on amount column. So let's do that. Select star from, or let me not use star, let me pick up some columns. Let's say select payment underscore ID. Then let's say amount, or let's say one couple of more columns, customer ID, right? And let's say staff ID, and then amount, right? And then here I'll say from payment, and I'll say order by amount, right? Amount is the actual column. Amount is the actual column name. But here we are asked to sort the data by using an alias name. So let's say I am saying amount as, let's say price, right? Amount as price. So what am I doing? I'm aliasing it with a name called as price. So now the amount column will be known as price. So here, if I want, I can sort the data based on price. Now, on executing this, let me execute this piece of query. So you will see that it is sorting in the ascending order for the price, right? So you see here, find the details of the top 10 customers. Now, before we find the top 10 customers, let me explain this to you. So what we have done is we have selected few of the columns, and then we have aliased the amount column as price. And then we are giving order by price. Now, suppose even though I have aliased the column amount as price, will I be able to actually use the actual column name amount? Of course we can. Yes, of course we can. You see, price, it is in the ascending order. Suppose if I want to find in the descending order. Now, the reason why I'm saying is descending is because we have to find the top 10 customers, right? That means the highest amount value. So we will have to sort the data based on descending order. Now let me execute this. You see, this is working fine. Now here, let me use price only because that's what the question is based on the alias name. So price, and let me execute this. So it works fine. Now it has to find the top 10 customers. So I can say here limit 10, right? Limit 10. Why? Because we need only the top 10 customers, right? So let me execute this piece of query and let's see what's the result. So these are our top 10 customers. These customers ID are 591, 195, 116, 237, 592 based on their price. So this is how you can actually sort your table based on the alias name. Now, sometimes in the interview, you are asked how order by works or why order by works with alias name. The reason is very simple. The reason is because this is the actual execution order of the order by statement. That means first your from clause is executed, then the second select statement is executed, and finally the order by. So first one is from. Let me show you an example. What happens? Let me pull up some other tables. Select star from, let's say customer order, right? Now let me execute this. This is a small table. So you see here, In this table, we have customer ID, customer name, gender. Now let's pull up let us write a simple query. Select, and let me list few columns. Let's say customer ID, comma, customer name. Then let's have gender, and let's say product name, and then I am saying from customer order, and I'm saying order by, let's add one more column here, price. Let's do it by price. Now if I execute this query, what will happen? It will sort the data based on the price column, and it will select only these queries. Now what is happening here is, when we are executing this query, when we are executing this complete query, the first thing is that it will execute your from clause. The first thing which SQL does is it will execute your from clause. You see here, the from clause is executed first. Secondly, after that, it will execute all the column names. That means your select statements. Basically here, the select statement is executed second, and order by is being executed third. Now, let me give you a small example. Let's say, for example, I am making a mistake in gender spelling. Let's say GENDERR, triple R, right? Now, price EEE. Now, we know that in our table, we do not have any gender with triple R, and we do not have any column price with triple E. And let me give a customer order 2. From the customer order 2 means I am changing the table name. Now when I execute this, you would notice, even though we have specified a wrong column name and the wrong table name, first the SQL will throw error for the from clause. It will not throw error from the select clause. Why? The reason is because SQL executes from clause first. That is the execution order. So let me execute and show you. So he says, hey, there is nothing called as customer order. Customer order 2 does not exist. So you must be very mindful that SQL executes the from clause first. Now let me rectify this. The moment I rectify the table name, then SQL will start throwing error for these columns, because that is the second piece which SQL is going to execute. Let me execute this as well. Now you will notice that it is saying, hey, I cannot find gender column, right? So let me fix this, gender, right? And then let's say price also I'm fixing, because we know that it will again throw error for price. But let's say here I'm making a mistake, order by, right? So let me execute this. So you will see that now there will not be any error from the from clause. That was the first. Second, it will not have any error in the select clause as well, because that also we have fixed. But the third statement which it executes is order by. So now it will throw an error for order by. Now let me execute this. You see, now it is saying order by price. It does not exist. So we will have to fix this. Now when I execute this query, then we will be able to get the correct result. Now the reason why I'm explaining you all this is because, see what happens. First, the SQL engine has executed from clause. Then when it is executing the select clause, it is identifying all the columns from the table, and then let's say then it is executing all this select statement, where it is also, let's say customer name is as name. So now SQL is executing select clause, where it is also creating an alias called as name. So now at this point of time, in the second execution order, that is select statement, now SQL is aware that the customer name is known as name, right? Let's say product name is known as, or let's say not product name, let's say price is known as amount, right? So now when it is executing this query, SQL already knows that the price column is now also identified by the name amount, which is nothing but an alias. So SQL remembers this name at this stage, and when it comes to the execution of order by, which is the third in our execution order, it will know that, okay, there is an amount alias which has been used to identify price column. So that is how it works. Always remember this. You see, now it is working. So sometimes in the interview they might ask you how or why does an alias name work with the order by. The answer is very simple. It is only because of the execution order. And what is execution order? The first clause which is being executed is from, second is the select, and the third one is order by. So because of this order, and when it is executing the select statement, it is also retaining this word. So it knows that okay, the price is known by amount, customer name is known as name, so it retains those name. And when it comes to execute order by, it can easily identify price column by amount column, and it is able to order by. That is the main reason why order by works with an alias name. Now let's go to the next topic. Order by sorting expression. Now what is this order by with sorting expression? Sorting expression is nothing but when you apply some functionalities on the column and then sort the data based on them, based on the new column. That means you might have a column, let's say for example name or gender or product name or something, or customer ID or amount. Suppose you multiply amount with 2, right? So it becomes 300, it becomes 800, it becomes 1000, it becomes 1400, and so on. So with the new column also you will be able to sort the data. That means basically we are applying some functionality on the column and then we are sorting the data. These functionalities can be obtained by applying different types of functions. For example, length, which is used to identify how many characters are there. Concatenate, which is used to concatenate multiple values. Let's say date, which is used to extract the date value from a given date year with time zone and everything. So that is what a sorting expression is. Now let's try to solve these three questions. So the first question says, hey, can you please sort the data in the ascending order of the length of the first name from the actor table? So let me pull up my actor table. Select star from actor, right? Now the moment I execute this, I'll have actor ID, first name, and last update. Now the question is, hey, can you please sort the data based on the length of the first name? Length means how it wants us to calculate how many alphabets are there in the first name. Let's say for example, Nick has got 4, Ed has got 2. So based on this, we need to sort the data. So what we can do, let's say select. Let me just show you first two columns so that you will understand better. First name, comma, length, Length, length of first name. Now see, I'm using an alias, right? And I'm saying length first name. And then I'm saying from, from actor table, right? So ACTOR, actor. Now let's execute this piece of query. So you see, it is actually calculating the length. So Penelope has got 8 characters, Nick has got 4 characters, Ed has got 2 characters, Jennifer has got 8 characters, Johnny has got 6 characters. So it is asking us to sort the data based on the length. So what we can do is, length, let me add some more column, last name, first name, and so on and so forth. Now from actor, and then I will say, hey, can you please order by length of first underscore name, right? Now if I execute this, you will see I'm getting the data like this, right? First name, last name, length of first name, right? So you see this is 2, so it is in the ascending order. If you want, you can also say descending, so that you get the longest name on the top, right? So Barry, the reason is because this might have some spaces in between, right? So this might have some space. That is why it is showing 11 characters. All right. Now suppose you want to, this is a scenario where you have only selected few of the columns. Suppose you want to see all the columns. So what can I do? Select star, comma, and then I can use this. So what am I doing here? Same question, but this time I want all the columns and also I want the length of this, right? So then I am saying from actor, and then I can say order by the same thing. So let me just borrow this query, right? And let me execute this. So you see here, I'm getting the same thing, right? So it is displaying till last update, it is showing all columns, and after that it is giving me the length of the first name, right? So this is called as sorting by sorting or ordering the data based on sorting expression. Let me solve the second question for you. The second question says, hey, can you sort the film table in the descending order of the length of the title? So let's say select star from film, right? Select star from film. So you see this is giving me my film table. So now we are asked to sort in the descending order of the length of the title. So what we will do is select, let's say I'm picking a few column, film ID, comma, let's say title, right? And let me pick up one more column, let's say rental rate, right? So I'm saying rental underscore rate, and let me take one more column as length, right? And I'm saying from which table? This is your film table, right? And I'll have to use order by. But now this time I need to order by the length of the title. So I will say after, let me immediately write after title itself, length of title, right? As length of title. So I can use here this alias name, order by length underscore title, and I can sort the data. REN, oops, my bad, I missed a comma over here. So let's execute it, and it will give us the result. See, length. Now the question is DESC, so let me execute it in the descending order. So you see here, now this is the highest, so the longest name followed by the names below, right? Satisfaction, confidential, desperate, and extraordinary, conquer, blah 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 blah. So this is how you can actually sort the data based on your anything, based on your sorting expressions, right? There's one more question for you. From the first name and the last name, create a full name. So it is asking to create us a full name. So let's solve this particular question. Okay, it is here already in the ascending order of the full name from the actor table. So let me pull up select star from actor, and let me execute it. So you see here we have first and the last name. So I can say select actor ID, comma, then let's have first name, last name, and then we need to combine first name and last name to create a full name. So I will say concat what first underscore name, comma, and let me add an underscore between these two names, and I'll say last underscore name, and let's say from. Okay, let me use alias as full name from actor. Let's just execute this piece of code so that we can see the result of concatenation. So you see here Penelope, Nick, and these two names has been concatenated by the full name. So now what we need to do is we need to order by full name. So we will say order by full underscore name. Now let's execute this piece of code, and you see we are getting ordering it by full name. If you want, you can also use the keyword descending, no problem at all. So here you see I'm getting descending names, right? So this is how you can order the data based on sorting expressions. The third one is order by using column number. Order by using column number. So what is a column number? So column number is nothing but the position of the column. Let me show you one small example. Let's say select star from film, right? Let's pull up this particular table. Now you see this table has got so many columns, right? Film ID, title, description, or I can show it to you from here itself. Let me expand this, right? So you see here, there are 13 columns in this film table, right? Which starts with film ID, title, description, release year. If I scroll right, you will see all these columns: release year column, rental duration, rental rate, length, and so on and so forth. So when we are saying that, when we want to sort the data based on the column number, means the position of this column, the position of this column. Now when you're using the position of this column, there are possibly two scenarios. You should be very mindful about it. The first one is that if column names are not explicitly defined in the select statement, if column names are not explicitly defined in the select statement, that means when I'm using directly a select, right, when I'm saying, okay, this is a wildcard character, please list down all the columns. So in this scenario, then use the column position as per the table. That means film ID is the first, title is the second. So in this case, if I want to sort the data based on title, so I can say here select star from film, and I can say order by 2, because this is a second column, title is 2. So now if I execute this, you will see the data is sorted based on the second column. Suppose I want to sort the data based on rental rate. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So rental rate is the seventh column. So I will have to say 7, right? Now if I execute this piece of code, the data will be sorted based on my rental rate. So you see here rental rate. So in the ascending order, suppose if I want descending, I can specify the keyword DESC and I can sort the data. So let's have a look at the result. So you see the descending rental rate, you see it is 499, and if I keep scrolling down, it will reduce, right? Why? Because it is in the descending order. So when you are using star, when you're using star in your query, then your column number is nothing but the actual position of your columns, right? Actual position of the columns in the table. But what if you start using what do you say, specific column name? Let's say for example select, and let's say I'm giving here film ID, comma, let's say title is the second one, but I am saying after title, let me have rental duration, rental underscore duration, and let me say rental underscore rate, right, comma, length, right, and then I'm saying from film, right? Now what now let me just show you this much result, right? So I have picked up only few columns. Let me pick up title as well, title, right? Let me pick up title as well. Now suppose I want to sort the data here based on title. So you see in the actual table the position of title is 2, the position of the title column is 2, first column, second column. But in my select clause, the position of title is in the third position. This is a third column. So if I say here order by 2, it will not sort the data based on title. What will it do? It will actually sort the data based on rental duration, because in the select statement you have specified the list of column and rental duration is in the second position. In case if I want to sort the data based on title, then I should be doing 3. Why? Because in the select statement I have specified title in the third position. So you should be very mindful about this when you are specifying list of columns in your select statement, and then if you want to order based on the column number, then you must follow the position specified in your select statement. If you are using wildcard character star, then you must follow the position as defined in the table. So let me show you the result over here, which will help you to understand. So let's say you see here now that this data is sorted based on title, right? Academy, dinosaur, ace, goldfinger, and so on and so forth. Let me do it by descending, right? Let me do it by descending. So you see here, this data will be sorted in the descending order of the title. Why? Because here I have specified title in the third position. Similarly, let's talk about rental, let's say talk about length. See, in the actual table, length is in first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth position. But here in actual table, length is in the eighth position, but in our query when we have specified select statement, it is in which position? First, second, third, fourth, fifth. So I should give 5, right? Let me execute this query, and you see it will sort based on length, and you see the highest length movies is on the top, followed by lower values, right? So I hope this is clear to you. So there are few questions which you have to solve, right? I have also given few assignment questions for you to practice. And guys, in case if you want to continue learning SQL or Python or data science, which is my upcoming videos, machine learning on artificial intelligence, anything with me, please like and subscribe my channel. Also hit the bell icon to receive the notification for my upcoming videos. Thank you so much for your time and patience. I hope you enjoyed learning this session. Thank you.